All right, what a special night. We got Amy Robinson in the house and we got our man KD Hill. First of all, Amy, how are you doing tonight?
I am fabulous.
All right, my man KD, how we doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, it is good to see both your faces. We were just talking about it before we get started. We always like to break the ice before we get into an episode, even this one that's a little bit unique. So I'm gonna come to you, KD, and say if you had your own talk show and you can have any celebrity guest, any guest you want, who would you have on?
I say Deion Sanders.
It's a hot one right now, and he's spitting that knowledge. Like I love it. Like he's not worried about what anybody thinks, and regardless of what you think, he's moving the needle big time. Amy,
Yes,
are you familiar with Dion?
I am.
All right, so yeah, he's doing big things. Amy, I'm curious, who would your guest be?
Ooh, my guest.
Any celebrity you want.
Any celebrity. It would have to be, I would probably go with I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue who it
Carlos
would be.
Pote Vidal, the
Uh
boxer.
yes, yeah, he's totally a celebrity. Yeah, I would definitely, you know what, you're exactly right. He would be my first guest. You're right.
I mean, it's definitely not a bad way to go. He will liven up the show. All right, Katie, it's Ole Miss hate week, and yet I have you on here as an LSU diehard. Give me a score prediction for Saturday.
Ole Miss will be 36-24.
Dang, you not only got us losing, but by double digits? That hurts. That hurts my heart a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. But best of luck to your boys this Saturday. But LSU shall prevail. Amy, I'm not even going to ask you. I know you don't know. You be watching Ole Miss baseball. All right, but let's get into it. Katie, for those who don't know, man, people may have seen the videos as we've shared them of, you grinding your way back. But for those who don't know, explain what happened.
On July 21st, I had a career-ending accident where my leg was amputated on the scene as I was stuck in the truck for 5 hours as EMT was sitting there with me. And as soon as the state trooper arrived, first thing I said, "Can you hold my hand so I can pray with you?" And I wanted to pray to make sure that everything was going to be okay and to calm me down and know that his angels, God angels, was around me. And after that accident, I had 7 surgeries in 2 weeks. And ever since then, I've been on it. Grace of God is why I'm here on this phone now talking. I'm able to enjoy my 7-month-old son and my mom and family.
Yeah, absolutely. And your first episode was my wife's favorite episode. Not even making that up because she could just tell how passionate of a follower of Christ you were. And she said, I feel like even though he's a football player, I feel like he's preaching because you had that inspiration in you. And you even got that voice. And so, talking about that story, like I would be in such a panic. And even as a Christian myself, I don't know that I would be wanting to pray that moment. I would be freaking out saying, get me from here. But you had a different perspective, and it's how you've handled this whole situation. So, the videos are inspirational. You talk about the story, explain, just how you've been able to handle this the way you have and have such a positive mentality.
I'm gonna tell you the secret. When you go through triumphs and you go through trials and tribulations, the only thing you can do is lean on the man that put you in them situations, and that's God. Um, Jesus, he carried that cross on his back for us because of our sins. So why not glorify him in everything that I do, no matter my situation, and get up every single day and be positive as I can because like I say, I have a son that's one day is going to go through the same things that I probably face or face something else that I never faced, and I'm able to help him out with that situation because of experience and wisdom and read the Bible to him. Every time I get my son, I read a scripture to him every single time. And that's something I want to install in my son is perseverance and faith and make sure he has his foundation on the rock. So whenever that storm comes, it won't get swept away.
Yeah, I mean, that is so amazing to me because I wrote you a message and told you, obviously my military career got taken away because of cancer. And through that whole fight with cancer, I spent so much time so mad during that portion because what I had planned to do was taken away. And you had your career taken, and it didn't even take you but 5 minutes to bounce back. And that's why I find it so incredible because most people don't do that. And even though I realize, the faith part of it like you do, it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to act it out and show it the way you have. But with that, obviously everything's reset. What are the goals? What are the plans now? Especially because, like you've mentioned, your son, obviously there's no time to just sit around and think about it. You gotta do things now.
Yes, sir. So first and foremost, like you said, you felt like your wife felt like the ministry part, my faith and stuff. My goal is to be a motivational speaker. I feel like that's my calling, that in ministry eventually. But right now, I want to focus on motivational speaking. And I have the Paralympics that I'm going to be training for. And everything that I do, like I say, I want to do it to glorify God. That's always been my mindset ever since I was a young man. And I want to continue to do that because you have many people out there that need encouragement, and you never know who you may come across one day. I've came across multiple people that I impacted. I remember I was at Waffle House one day, and this younger lady she had a bad day, and I could just feel the energy off of her. And I just walked up to her and I told her everything would be okay. And I said, I could tell that something's bothering you. And I said, everything will be okay, and God loves you. And she smiled at me and she said, thank you so much. So I thank God for giving me a gift to be able to talk to people and be able to understand where they're coming from and be able to help them out.
And that's why I wanted to pair you two together. And I'm going to give Amy the floor now, but she is someone since she came in my life, Katie. She's been a constant inspiration. Someone who also reflects God's shining light because when I'm down, she sends me things of positivity. She always tries to tell me that, we're obviously on this path, this journey for a reason, but just keep, sometimes it's like you said, patience and perseverance and everything. And so I thought she was perfect to bring on and do this episode with you because she's been someone that's like that in my life, and being that she's a sponsor of the show. And so with that, Amy, I'll go ahead and let you have the floor.
Right, you. Well, I had the joy of actually getting to meet Katie last night on the phone, and because I take it seriously when I partner up with somebody that they're not just the mouth of being a Christian and being a good example and being a great character for our young people, our old people, or my whatever age people, to see what the character of Christ looks like, to see what a character they could emulate looks like. And because there's a lot of people that don't have role models. And so when you come into, and when Jim will toss me a name and he said, you know what, this one's a good one, this is a great role model, I do that. And I like working with Jim because he is always spot on the people that he chooses to bring on and to introduce me to and show me how their world is. And so, I'm really excited to be a part of all of your future endeavors of what you got going on and moving forward. I'm really excited. Am I supposed to do the rest of it right now?
Everything that I put on there, I can edit that little pause out, but yeah, everything that I put there, go for it. Like, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So the reason that he brought me on here is back to the character is we've given away character awards to Elko, to mothers that are doing a
I will
superior
do it
job.
right here. I will cut you off to say that partnering with Amy, we've done 4 meet and greet events. Hayden Leatherwood, Ben Van Cleve, Landon Sims, Cameron James, and Hernando. In Atlanta, we had Dylan DeLucia, Dylan Ross, and Josh Hatcher. In South Haven, we had Kaya Johnson and Alana Shenikova. In New Orleans, we had Gavin Guidry and Griffin Herring. You've also presented, as you were saying, character awards to Tim Elko, Evan Russell, TJ Klett, and Michelle Battles over Zoom. So all these were things that were people that I presented to Amy that I felt were worthy, and partnering together, we were able to help every single one of these athletes, and even a mother who needed the help. So,
Yes, sir.
with that to ado, I would like to tell you that we have chosen you for the next character award presentation, and it's not a prize. It's just a recognition of what you already are, and we're proud to be a part of. It's just the beginning. So as you continue to, just like I was talking to you last night about the dog kennel that you want to be part of your ministry. And, I want to promote the KD ministry, KD Hill ministry, that, I'm going to help you as much as I possibly can, because when someone in your caliber gets into a situation and it's career ending and you come up like a shining light like that, that is not something that can be bought. It's not something that can be trained. It's something that's real or it's not. And I'm just proud to be a part of that, because we've got work to do on this earth. What we were talking about. And I'm proud to be a part of that, because I've been blessed with the company that I represent, and it goes alongside with athletes, because it's got protein, it's got energy drinks, sleep, detox, all kind of stuff to keep you healthy. And so with that, I'm going to continue to sponsor you with that company, and that's the same company that sponsors In Off the Bench. And with Truvy and with In Off the Bench, we're just proud to be a part of everything that you've got moving forward.
Yes, ma'am. And I just want to thank you all so much for blessing me with that, and I truly appreciate it.
and so before you get into the products and the way they can sponsor Amy, if y'all just want to outright make any donations towards helping KD as he's on the start of this new journey, you can simply go to In Off the Bench as well, and there is an option to just donate to his foundation and his cause, like we're talking about his ministry, getting a kennel, all these different things, goals and dreams that he has. That as much as I'm a diehard sports fan, obviously I have a podcast. KD mentioned that there's bigger things in this world and on this earth, and he's now going to establish himself in those. And so that's why I believe that football is the end all be all for you, because you understand that. And I think, like we've talked about, God's plan is not necessarily always our plan, and I think this is what he wanted you to do. And you've been an inspiration so much so far that I can only imagine what's going to happen. So with that, Amy, talk about Truvy and some of the products they got and how it works to sponsor KD.
Well, Truvy's been around for about 9 years, and it's plant-based products, and we're out of Utah. We own our own distribution. Everything is done in-house, so all of our products are certified by our labs, our doctors. Then we have a third-party lab that also certifies them. So all done out of an USDA approved facility. So, and with these, me personally, I lost 63 pounds in 103 days by swallowing 2 capsules every morning. And when that happened to me, I knew that in the October following the July that I met these capsules, I stood in my kitchen and I raised my hands with tears running down my face. And I promised to God right then that while I was listening to Lauren Daigle's song, You Say, that I would spend the rest of my life letting people know that there are products out there that can help your body work properly. And so I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know what it even meant to do whatever I was doing. I was just swallowing capsules. And but when I started seeing all the miracles that started happening, like neuropathy disappearing, people's diabetic numbers coming down, their shoulder pain.
I'm an example of that, right? So KD, you seen me, I'm a gym rat, but I could do all the cardio in the world. I couldn't shred. And then I got on multiple products with Amy, lost 43 pounds. But what caught my attention when she was saying that, it was, as a cancer survivor, I have to get lab work every 6 months. Anyway, after being on their products for 3 months, I had a doctor's appointment, and I sent the results to Amy, and I told her the doctor said my labs were the best they have been post cancer, which just speaks to the blood chemistry that's in some of the products and the things I'm taking. So not only was I losing weight, but the proof was literally in my lab results that I was a healthier version of me.
Yes, sir.
So, with that, I've seen some miracles. I've seen God at his best work. And, with this company, and, I've already spoken to the owners about you, because like I said, I get to choose whose lives I get intertwined in. And I love running with Christ like people. And, I want to help you find your dreams. I want to help the world see you. I want you to make a big impact. And that whole thing about, the motivational speaking, I can totally see you doing that. And going into the ministry, are you kidding me? Have you been, oh yeah, I can totally see that. So, with your smile and your energy and your fire, I mean, I'm just totally excited to be a part of it. And so, it's with Truvy, over the years, we realized that just because people were losing 100, 200, 300 pounds, because again, you and I know our maker, and we know that he can heal our bodies. Now, he can't grow you a new foot. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that he can heal what we got. He can make our hearts work right. He can do all of that. But we have to give our body what it needs. If it needs water, or if it needs food, if it needs, a vitamin, if it needs minerals, whatever it needs, we got to do that part ourselves so that our body can repair at night. So the fact that they're all plant-based products, I love that. But the fact that our company prays over what our next decisions are, we pray over what we just opened up in 2 different countries, and we prayed over which ones that we would work with, because if God doesn't want you there, he's going to close doors and he's going to make it a bumpy ride. But if he wants you there, it's going to be exactly what needs to be, and it's going to be a smooth transition that you just get to do his work. You don't have to worry about all the red tape with all the problems that come with it. So they realized that just because you lost weight, you didn't exactly know how to run a business. And so they made it even easier. They made up a fitness app that has free recipes and stuff on it. And at the bottom, there's a little supplement, a little peel. You poke that and they shop there. And if they put in your KD Hill Ministry right there, then everything they buy, you get 20% of. So I'm going to push your KD Hill Ministries with that app until I get it everywhere. And then you'll constantly be getting a 20% commission from all of their sales, everything they purchase. And the reason I know it's going to be successful is because we know the products are amazing. And we've gotten feedback from professional hockey players, from college baseball players, college football players.
Carlos Vidal,
track
17-0 professional boxer, who we mentioned earlier,
right,
is one of them.
Yeah, and Carlos's story, he being a 17-0 boxer, he the reason he was fighting like every other boxer is to make $1 million to get to the top. Well, he and his wife Mary just started messing around with the supplements, and wanted to make like an extra $500 a week just to be able to fund it while he's making his money with boxing. And he's the one I was telling you used to fight out of Mayweather's gym, and I mean, excellent boxer, excellent character. Well, he's made over $1.5 million with the company just flipping codes out of his cell phone in the last 3 years. So he gave up boxing, and he has a Hollywood smile now, so he doesn't want to get in the ring and get his teeth knocked out. So
that's what he told me.
He's
too pretty to get punched now.
He's too pretty now. So with this company, it's just an app, and when they download the app, they put in your KD Hill Ministry, and then they shop, and the money comes straight to your back office. It's amazing.
So basically, Amy, what you're telling the listeners is they can get the health products that'll change their life, and while purchasing them, they can sponsor KD at the same time through the purchase.
Yes. Yes, just download the SF5 app, and I love to say S is in Frank, S is in Sam,
I
F
was gonna
is in
say
Frank,
S
and
isn't in Frank, Amy.
S is in Sam, F is in Frank, and 5 is in $500,000. So that's how I tell people to remember SF5. And once they download that app, they're gonna go into it just like you would any app, log into it. And when it says who referred you or what code, you're gonna look up KD Hill Ministries and KD Hill Ministry, and you'll be under him. It's amazing.
Yeah, and so with that, do you have a couple products on hand to show them so we're not just telling them about them?
I do. This is the hottest weight loss product right now in North America. It's called Trim. We have sold out of this product twice. People are losing on average a pound every other day. And it's just swallowing 2 capsules in the morning, 2 capsules at lunch.
So
That's
you're
it.
so you're saying I could take the capsules and I don't even have to go run 2 miles. I'll just lose weight.
Nope. That's exactly what I'm saying. And you could not run 2 miles, lose weight, and sponsor KD.
Boom. All right, what else we got?
Let's see, we've got heart and hydration, we've got essential oils like frankincense, $19, and it's the same one that sells for $72 at another company. Comes out of the same
And and
actual
and to,
facility.
and to plug it with Ole Miss, because we're doing, we have an Ole Miss athlete. I took the Heart and Hydrate from Amy. She told me to give it to the baseball boys, and middle of summer when they were grinding, and they literally said that it just hit on a different level. It's to me a better version of the liquid IV, and it's more affordable than the liquid IV, and the flavor choices are way better. Like my daughter has liquid IV, and I immediately showed her the Heart and Hydrate options, and whether it's watermelon, grape, or whatever. I mean, you're talking about the taste of Kool-Aid versus what she's drinking. Kind of, I don't know, tastes like bad water to me.
Yeah, my favorite in the heart and hydration is the grape, and it's just a little grape packet. You tear it and pour it in some water, shake it, and drink it and roll out. It tastes like grape Kool-Aid, and the watermelon tastes like a watermelon Jolly Rancher in a liquid form. The pink grapefruit, surprisingly, I didn't think I would like it, so I didn't try it for the first 2 years. I didn't even drink it because being on diet your whole life, you eat grapefruits. So I finally tried it after some of my all night girls said, "Oh man, just throw some vodka in there, and that way you don't have a hangover the next day, and the drink's great." And I'm like, okay. And so I ended up trying the grapefruit, not the vodka, and it actually does have a really refreshing flavor.
I like
So
the magical unicorn, which I made the order yesterday because I get mine with the caffeine. So for those of you, maybe you want to eliminate coffee and all the negatives with it, you can drink this, and not only do you start your day off getting super hydrated, but you also get that caffeine kick that you're looking for. So that's my favorite.
yes, magic unicorn. It tastes like a sweet tart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
like sweeties.
So what our point of this episode to the listeners or those who are watching, we are presenting an opportunity to change your life through these products, people in your life, not just you yourself. Like I said, my whole family uses them. And this gives a direct opportunity to help KD's ministries. So you can do that way. Like I said, you can directly give, and this is what we're trying to do. It's not even just KD. I listed off the athletes. So those who listen, by helping Amy in her business, she has outpoured her love to continue to turn that money back around. And instead of keeping it for herself, put it back into the athletes that come on our show for their outstanding character. So it's a beautiful cycle that goes around. And so if you want to change your life, or if you want to change someone else's life, it's just an awesome opportunity to get into. And I appreciate Amy for what she's brought, and the fact that she has such a big heart and wants to help KD in this way, because I've seen what it can do, especially if you plug in and buy under somebody whose name like that. And it helps KD. He can continue to do the things that he's doing on a day-to-day basis and not have to actually go out there and put in the grind as a salesman, so to speak. You're just helping him out along on his journey. So it's a beautiful thing for a guy who's trying to get everything going together. With that being said, Katie, I want to ask you, because you were talking about your son earlier. When I had you on before, you didn't have him. Tell those about the little man. I've been seeing the pictures. What's his name, and tell us. You said he's 7 months, but tell us about him.
My son was born February 1st. I was actually in Florida training, and I flew back down for those 2 nights. And his name is Caden Hill. Gave him my grandfather middle name, which is Leon, and he means the world to me. It's just something about a kid, especially when you look at him, all you see is yourself. And I always tell myself I can't wait for him to get older so I can just have conversations with him about life and things that I've done in life, that I know that will motivate him, and how I was able to conquer things that people thought I wouldn't conquer.
I'll tell you this, while that will be amazing, don't pass by on these younger years, Katie. I miss when my son was that little. I'm sure Amy can testify. She's got multiple sons. Like, when they get older, you just wish they were little. So don't rush it too fast, and enjoy the moment. But just watching you talk, I know Amy saw what I saw. You always are smiling, but you lit up extra talking about him. And so I love to see it. Both of us do as parents, just the excitement that you have. And so for the listeners, I did that on purpose, because you see that he's also not, it's not just about KD. It's about more than that. He's got a son that he's got to take care of. So all the more reason that we want to help him through this opportunity. So with that, one last question for you, Katie. We've talked about the ministries and speaking, but for those who maybe didn't listen to your first episode, talk about your passion for dogs and what we hope to accomplish down the road with a kennel.
So my passion is first started with my grandfather, Myron Leon Williams. He passed away when I was 10 years old from pancreatic cancer, and just watching him on a daily basis. My uncle had a dog kennel, and he trained dogs. And so me and my grandfather would go clean the kennels out every single day and do that. And that's where my love for dogs come from. And over the years, it just grew more stronger and stronger. And I look at dogs as family. Like, my dogs I call them my kids. So when I had my son, I looked at it as easy, because when my female had her puppies, I slept in there with her every single night until the puppies was like 2 weeks old. And so my dogs mean so much to me, and I look at them more than just animals. They are my family. I have a male dog that I know will protect me with his life on the line. And that was my first dog when I went to college. And I truly have a bond with him that's amazing. And it's hard to explain. But sometimes he acts like a human. And I'm like, there's no way a dog can act like this. But you could just tell he loves me so much.
Mhm. I mean, there's a reason why they're called man's best friend. Amy has a dog that is the biggest dog I've ever seen in my life, and he is the sweetest dog, but it still scares me a little, because when he comes my direction, he's just so big, it's hard not to be intimidated. I mean, he's even named Thor. How much does Thor weigh, Amy?
148.
He's such a big dog, but he's a protector too, Katie. My son jumped in the pool at her house, and he thought he fell in, and this big dog jumped in the pool to help him out. And I was like, "Oh my God, this dog just got in the pool!" And it's like, I mean, he's like a quarter of the size of the pool. He's so big. I was like, anyway. And my son is like, "Why is the dog chasing me in? Because there was nothing wrong." And I was like, "I think he thinks you're drowning, buddy." So
Yeah.
she's definitely got an interesting dog. Um,
What kind of dog is it, Miss Amy?
He's a Cane Corso, and he's
Uh,
now he's mine, so he's imprinted on me. And so yeah, you can't even raise your voice at me, or he'll stand between us and he'll lean on you, kind of like you need to get away. And because you don't want his little chompers. But we have two little kittens, and they jump from a chair down on top of his head and crawl on his face. And they love underneath the paws, that little hair. They love tapping on his feet, so he'll jerk his feet back, and they just lay at the end of his feet, tapping that little hair, tickling him, and makes him so aggravated. But he just lays there with them. He's the best dog ever. But I agree with you. I think he understands me, because today somehow when we left the back door open and the kittens were out. So they could have gotten out in the back door. I don't know how the back door got left open. He laid right in the opening of it, like he was protecting them. And then I was like, how would you know to do that? And he just went around and he just kind of sat in his bed when we got home, like, I'm finished protecting the kittens. And I'm like, how would he know to do that? But it was cute. I love my animal too, like that.
Yes, man.
Yes, baby.
So that inspired me to do something as we get ready to play this or that. If when I post this episode, and if you listen to it or if you see the post, I want people to post the pictures of their dogs, their best friends. And let's, that's just something fun and positive to do, just to add on to the thing. So me, Amy, and KD can see, you guys best friends, your dogs, and maybe we get something else going viral through all this. And so, but with that, like we do in every episode, even though this one's a little different, we're going to play a game of this or that with both of y'all. The questions are different since you were on last time, KD. You're going to play Amy. Amy will start with you first on every question, and then it'll go KD. But basically, I give you two options, Amy, and you pick one or the other. You can't say both, and you can't say neither is the rule. You got it?
Got it.
All right. So, do you like breakfast for breakfast or breakfast for dinner?
Me, I like breakfast for dinner.
Me too. What about you, KD?
Breakfast for dinner.
What's the one must-have item, Amy, in a breakfast for dinner?
Oh, crispy bacon or salty ham.
I'm with you on the crispy bacon. What about you, KD?
I gotta get some hash browns with some cheese and onions.
Ooh, and I just got hungry like that. I need bacon and hash browns.
Right.
Go. All right, Amy. If you were left on an island, you were stranded, and you had the choice of being alone or being stuck with your worst enemy, what are you doing?
Well, you know that I cannot not talk to somebody, so I don't have any enemies that I know of. But if I had a worst enemy, I would take them with me, and we would somehow become friends, so I could talk to them while we're on this island by ourselves.
I feel like KD's gonna have a similar answer.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing in my head, because I feel like if two can work together, you'll be able to get off that island.
That's what we've had multiple guests say. They've said even if they're your worst enemy, they feel like two is better than one. And even though you don't like each other, you'll work together, even if it's not to get off the island. But they were talking about building shelter and surviving, whatever the case may be. Even if you had to make it competitive, so to speak. But all right, this one's gonna be a fun one for you, Amy. I'm very curious because of the life that you live and the places that you go. Would you rather have a massive yacht or a private jet?
Well, Kendall and I were discussing this, and we both agreed we would have to have the jet because the yacht's not going to get us there fast enough.
All right, before I responded, I'm gonna see what KD says first. Which one you going with, KD?
I gotta say the yacht, because when I was in Florida training, I would like see those yachts on the water, and you basically have everything right there. And I'm okay with just being in one location and just being to myself with family or something. So the yacht, I feel like is its own world when you're inside of it.
Absolutely, and I'm with the yacht. And Amy, I'll tell you this: like, you not only do you have everything like you said, but I'm gonna tell you from being in the Navy, when you step out on a boat when the sun is rising in the morning, it just hits different, and you can't get that in a jet. So I'm okay taking my time and seeing that every single morning while I'm slowly getting to my destination.
Well, I'll find out this week. I'm going on my first cruise. I won with Truvy. So, oh yeah, that's another thing, KD. When we fill up all these holes underneath you, people buying this fabulous product, you're going to win cruises just because points go into your account. And so this cruise I'm going on, we leave Wednesday. We get to Tampa on Thursday. Or we leave out of Tampa on Thursday and go to Cozumel and come back or whatever But yeah, it was all paid for because people brought product. It's crazy. It's almost, you almost feel guilty for getting a free trip because so many people bought product that actually makes them better. And I already got commission that I got to do blessings with, but it's just, it's a full
But
circle
you know why?
amazing.
You know why you shouldn't feel guilty though, because people are able to sell the products underneath you and do the same thing and provided those opportunities. So no different than you're doing things. The opportunity is there if they want it, and so
Well, I just want to see, because it's such an easy opportunity for people. And, until I met you, Jim, I didn't know that athletes struggled so much while they're in college. I guess I just always assume if you're wearing a uniform for a college that you got your room, board, food, everything paid for. And that just wasn't the case. And I was really disappointed to find that to be the truth. And then, I was like, well, how do these kids that are in college that so much is required of them, practice and travel and all this kind of stuff, how do they get through the academics and then have a job as well? I mean, how do they juggle all that? And and after COVID hit, because that's about the time I started adopting the Ole Miss boys, and the depression was setting in. And at their level, the when they're chasing the dreams of a sports career, you've got to be all in. I mean, y'all start young. I mean, you know what you've been through, Jim, with all the different teams. What do you call them when you're with a group of, like, a home team or whatever team, different pods or whatever you go into in competitive sports to get to where you're trying to go to get to the next level. And you don't really have time to sit around and go work at a restaurant or go work here in an office, or you don't have time for that as an athlete at that level. And so I want to see every athlete be able to pick up their phone and tell somebody to download an app and put in their name and then say, look, it's great products, and then drink it. That's all they would ever have to do in order for money just to show up in their account. And, that's one of the things that I want to make sure that became part of my heart. People trying to get out of bad marriages or people trying to get out of poverty, people, and it doesn't matter if they're a felon coming out of jail, and whatever happened in their past life, they can still have a cell phone. People forward, and they download an app, put in a code, and then you make an income. It's all about just letting people know you have an opportunity. And when that became my mission, it has been, yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, and I think to add to that, not to take too long, but helping a couple of the players' moms and getting them acclimated and being able, whether it was character wars with Michelle Battles, or giving them a chance to sell the products, because you were talking about the struggle. I know plenty of families that don't have the money. Just this past year, multiple parents, I was like, will I see you at the game? Because the players aren't, necessarily anywhere close to be, or where they're from is not where they're playing. Right. So it's like, will I see you in this destination this weekend? They're like, we don't have the money to go. And it's illegal actually for the school to, if they even are willing to pay for them to come, you can't do that. So like, if you already, put all your money in just so your kid could go to school because of all the costs, or you're trying to take care of them, and you can't even go watch your son or your daughter that you've spent all these years raising and putting in the time with go play on the big stage. So it's a whole thing, and it gives opportunities. But with that, I got the final this or that question. It'll be interesting, Amy, especially because obviously you're not an athlete right now. Might have been in your heyday for all I know, but you're going to get the same question everybody else gets. Would you rather win $1 million? So I walk in and I present a suitcase with $1 million, crisp 20s, or you can have a national, or in this case, since you're not in college, a world championship in a sport. What are you taking? Think about and since you're not on there, I'm going to tell you what the guests that come on who actually have national championships and talk about this. The memories that you have from winning a championship, the team that you're with, the experience you have, you can't put a price on.
True. And I think that would probably be my choice, only because in my stage of my life, it's all about God, 100%. I mean, there's only good and evil as far as I'm concerned. Every decision is made, and you're either going to make it for good or evil. And there's just too much evil on the earth right now, I believe. And so I would choose the national championship. And just as a side note, I was a center fielder for South Haven High School, and I used to be able to throw people out from center field at home plate.
Look
So,
at that.
yeah, and I could slide like no other. But
I'm gonna
yeah,
need
I
some
would do that.
footage.
I would do that because I would somehow in the interviews and in that spotlight I would always be mentioning God and how thankful I am, and I think that would be because you would have so many eyes on you at one time.
Which is what inspired you, or Elko inspired you because of how he did that. Thinking about the championship
Right.
and putting God at the forefront. For you, KD, like I feel like it's easy, but I don't know. Maybe if I put the $1 million in cash in front of you, or I put that championship ring, where are we going?
I gotta go with a championship ring because all the blood, sweat, and tears you're gonna put in with your brother is like no other. Watching your brothers run those 110s and y'all encouraging each other and y'all going through the battle together. I I know the battle is not like the military, but it's kind of like the same when y'all sitting there looking at each other. You're tired, but you're still pushing because y'all doing it for each other and not for yourself. So I'll say the national championship.
Absolutely. That's my opinion. The right answer. Usually there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer to these questions, but I feel like with that one, undoubtedly, and like you said, the camaraderie, you just can't beat it. But with that, we're gonna wrap this episode up. Amy, one more time for the listeners, tell them the app name and what they need to do to get involved.
The app name is SF5, and you just download it. And then when you download it, put in KD Hill Ministry, and you'll go to the bottom, and there's a little capsule. You hit that, and it'll take you right into the products, and you will not be disappointed. And I do expect tickets to the Paralympics, don't you, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely. I will
Mhm.
go watch him do anything. I'm watching his videos right now, just him working out, just keeping himself in shape. I mean,
Right.
he's stronger than me right now, making me look bad.
Look, and he's working out. People are going to watch him work out. So, and he's using that opportunity to teach people about Christ. Oh,
I'm gonna be honest with you, Katie. My first thought when I seen you doing dips on the walker was how that walker was maintaining and holding you up, brother, with all that muscle.
Hey, I don't know how I did it, but I did take it through some things.
Man,
I
that
wasn't
walker
able.
is not feeling good right now.
No, it's not. It's sitting right beside my bed now on the wall. I retired it. I end up getting me a scooter now, but I took it through some things because I wasn't able to work out for over 2 months because of the pain in my leg. And so I would do dips on my walker. And the day I posted the video of me doing push-ups was the first day me ever doing any push-ups or anything. And so I was just so excited. And that day was the day I got cleared to work out. My doctor called me to look at my leg and he said, "Are you in near UAB?" I said, "I moved to Birmingham." He said, "Okay." He said, "Come up here and get your shrinker." And he said, "You're cleared for workouts." So ever since then, I've been going to the gym and just taking every advantage of it because that's my lifestyle. I love to work out and it just gives me things to do around the house instead of just sitting here.
Yeah, and I think my favorite video that you posted was when you were tying your shoe because it takes amazing balance. Obviously, that was something that you had to work at, and that's why you shared it because you took pride in it. It's one of those things. If you watch it, I'm sure it was a grind to be able to get that balance and be able to do it, smoothly like that. So that was my favorite of all of them because for a big guy like me, I can lift weights, but when we talk about balance, that ain't my thing. So but with that, is there anything before we wrap up that you want to plug or promote or put out there?
All I can say is I'm truly thankful for this opportunity to be able to come over here and impact someone's life. And if you ever going through something in life, always remember Psalms 121, verse 1 through 2. I will lift my eyes up to the hills from which cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. And just know that's where your strength comes from. And he's going to take you through the valleys and through the mountains, and he's going to guide you along the way. And just put your trust in him, because I know there are times where it seems like he's not there, but he's listening. He just wants you to meet him halfway. And once you do that, he's going to take you wherever you want to go in life, as long as you glorify him. And he's going to put your name in buildings that you never thought your name would be in. And that's pretty much all I got to say.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he is going to be an amazing motivational speaker, because I'm motivated through it. So, but with that, we want to thank Amy and Katie for joining us. If you like hearing their story, or you like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. We will see everyone back Monday night. We'll be talking Tennessee softball with the girls, Charlie and Jameson. This has been an Off the Bench podcast. As always, strong bodies, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.